The season opens with the familiar beauty of high society, where every detail looks perfect from the outside. The grand houses, the shining ballrooms, the soft music, and the polite laughter all create the image of peace and order. But beneath this beauty, something feels different. There is tension in the air, something unspoken but deeply felt. People are watching more closely. Conversations stop when someone enters the room. Smiles feel forced, and trust feels weaker than before. The Bridgerton family stands at the center of this world, still respected, still admired, but no longer untouched by pressure. Their name carries weight, but it also carries expectation. Every move they make is noticed, and every decision has consequences. This time, however, the pressure feels heavier. It is no longer just about marriage or status, it is about survival in a society that is ready to turn against anyone who steps out of line. As the social season begins, invitations are sent, gatherings are planned, and everyone prepares to present their best selves. But behind closed doors, fear quietly grows. Rumors are spreading faster than ever before. Small misunderstandings are turning into major scandals. And people who once felt secure now find themselves questioning who they can truly trust. In the middle of this shifting world, something unexpected begins to take shape. A connection, quiet at first, almost invisible, to people who should remain distant find themselves drawn closer without fully understanding why. It starts with a glance that lasts a moment too long, a conversation that feels deeper than it should, a feeling that neither of them is ready to admit. This connection is not simple and it is not safe. Both carry responsibilities, expectations, and past decisions that make this bond dangerous. They know the rules, they understand the risks, and yet something stronger than logic begins to grow between them. It is not planned, it is not wanted, but it is real. Around them, the world continues as if nothing has changed. Balls are held, dances are shared, and laughter fills the rooms. But for them, everything feels different. Every moment becomes heavier. Every choice becomes harder. Because they both know that if anyone notices what is happening, the consequences will not be small. And still, they cannot walk away. What begins as a quiet connection slowly turns into something impossible to ignore. And as their story starts to unfold, it becomes clear that this is not just another romance. This is something that could break families, destroy reputations, and change everything forever. Because in this world, love is not just a feeling. It is a risk, and this time, the cost may be too high. The world they live in does not allow mistakes, especially not ones of the heart. As the season moves forward, the quiet connection that once felt harmless begins to grow into something far more dangerous. Every meeting becomes harder to hide, and every glance feels like it could be seen by the wrong person. What once felt like a secret shared between two people now starts to feel like a secret that the entire world is waiting to uncover. They begin to realize that this is no longer just about how they feel. It is about everything that surrounds them, their families, their names, and the expectations placed on them since the day they were born. Each step they take toward each other pulls them further away from the life they are supposed to live. And yet, stepping back feels impossible. The more they try to create distance, the stronger the pull becomes, as if something deeper is refusing to let them go. At the same time, society itself begins to shift. The gatherings grow more intense, not with joy, but with curiosity. People are no longer just attending events to celebrate, they are watching, judging, and waiting. Conversations carry hidden meanings, and even the smallest actions are examined closely. A simple dance can raise questions, a shared moment can create suspicion. In this world, nothing goes unnoticed for long. Within the Bridgerton family, there is a growing sense that something is not right. They may not know the full truth, but they can feel the change. There are moments of silence where there should be comfort, questions that go unanswered, glances exchanged that hold concern instead of warmth. The bond that once felt unbreakable now faces a quiet test, one that no one is prepared for. Outside forces begin to play their part as well. Friends who once offered support now seem uncertain. Rivals begin to notice opportunities. And those who thrive on gossip start to sense that there is a story waiting to be told. The air becomes heavier with tension, as if everything is building towards something that cannot be stopped. For the two at the center of it all, the pressure becomes overwhelming. Every choice feels like a risk, and every moment together feels like it could be their last. They begin to question not only their situation, but themselves. Is what they feel strong enough to face what is coming, or is it something that will only lead to regret and loss? There are moments where they try to be practical. To remind themselves of what is expected of them, they attempt to create distance, to focus on their duties, to return to the path that was chosen for them long ago. But each attempt fails. The connection they share refuses to fade, no matter how much they try to control it. What makes it even more dangerous is that this is no longer just a secret between two people. The world around them is beginning to react, even if it does not yet fully understand why. Small whispers begin to form, observations are quietly shared, and slowly, the idea of something hidden starts to take shape in the minds of others. The closer they grow, the more fragile everything becomes. One wrong move, one moment of weakness, and everything could fall apart, not just for them, but for everyone connected to them. Their families, their reputations, and their futures all hang in the balance. And yet, despite the fear, despite the pressure, and despite the growing danger, they continue to move closer to each other, because some feelings, once they begin, cannot be stopped. And in a world that demands control, they are losing theirs. The tension between them grows in ways neither can ignore. What began as fleeting moments of curiosity now consumes their thoughts. Every conversation lingers longer than it should. Every accidental touch feels electric. Even the simplest shared laugh carries weight, as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting to see what will happen next. They are aware of the danger, yet the heart rarely listens to reason, and their connection deepens with every passing day. In the grand ballrooms and candlelit corridors, they find ways to be near each other without drawing attention. But even these careful encounters carry risk. Each stolen glance feels like a spark threatening to ignite a fire too powerful to control. The unspoken words between them are louder than any declaration, their eyes conveying the depth of feeling they cannot yet speak aloud. Around them, society continues its dance of appearances. Unaware of the storm brewing in the shadows, the weight of expectation grows heavier with each encounter. Both are bound by the rules of family, honor, and tradition. Every step they take toward one another is a step away from what is considered safe and acceptable. The fear of exposure hangs over them like a dark cloud, yet it does nothing to diminish the intensity of their feelings. Instead, it sharpens it, making every moment together more urgent, more vital, and more dangerous. Outside of their private moments, whispers begin to stir. Observant eyes notice subtle changes. The way they linger in conversation, the way they exchange knowing smiles, and the faint tension that seems to follow them wherever they go. Even the smallest slip could ignite scandal, yet they find themselves unable to resist. The world may be watching, but the pull between them is undeniable, and no amount of caution seems sufficient to keep it in check. They start to question themselves and their motives. Is this passion a rebellion, a test of courage, or something deeper that cannot be contained? Doubts creep in, but so do desires. Each time they consider stepping back, a memory, a touch, or a glance draws them forward again. The emotional conflict grows, and with it comes a heightened awareness that the consequences of being discovered could be catastrophic. Yet, the thought of separation becomes unbearable. Within the family circle, subtle shifts begin to emerge. The Bridgertons, proud and discerning, sense changes in behavior but cannot fully grasp the scope. Their concern is a mixture of love and fear. Love for those involved, fear of what could happen if this secret is revealed. Meanwhile, external forces, friends, rivals, and society at large begin to notice patterns they had overlooked before. The delicate balance of propriety carefully maintained, teeters on the edge of collapse.